Welcome to You Make the Difference. I'm Wanda Walker, and I have as my guest today Gail Gordon. Gail is the coordinator of Success by Six. Gail, tell us what Success by Six is.
Success by Six is really a collaboration of people in the community. We have healthcare workers, government workers, people in the education field, where we all work together to try to get children ready to start school.
Oh, that's great. Now, I know that you have just gotten a new facility that you're operating out of. Tell us where the facility is and tell us how it's set up and how people can come and be a part of Success by Six.
The new facility is wonderful. My office is located in the Bank of America building at the United Way office, but back in the fall we were able to acquire some space downstairs on the first floor of the Bank of America building that was not being used. Callaway Foundation was gracious enough to share that with us, and it is lots of old office space. So I've set it up as an early learning center. We have stations, and I've just as of yesterday completed a session of what I called Color My World, which is early learning activities where parents can bring their children, and we have story time, finger plays, different activities where they work with their child and rotate through the different centers in that facility. It's also an excellent place for meetings, and it is open to share.
Yes, and then I know during the winter you had snow and winter activities, and tell me some of the things you did during that time.
Well, the first activities we had, we opened the facility early December, so each Wednesday in the month of December leading up to Christmas, we called them Christmas creative activities. One week we used a reindeer Rudolph theme. Every activity was geared toward reindeer Rudolph. Then we had a gingerbread theme, so again it was geared to gingerbread activities. Then we had just a Christmas tree and angels theme. And again, it would be stories, it would be finger plays. We acted out some little finger plays. And
what are finger plays?
Finger plays are like, it's kind of, you can use nursery rhymes, but it's like just rhyming words, which is so important in just the language development for early learning. And then we do cutting activities where the children actually have scissors. Some of them have never held a pair of scissors. And parents are afraid for children to have scissors. So this is an opportunity for parents to sit with their child and actually do some cutting.
Now, how old are the children that take part in Success by Six?
Well, Success by Six is geared for children birth through, it sounds like 6, but really age 5 until they start to school, or if they get in pre-K. We feel like just really once they start school that the school system takes over, and we've kind of done our part as far as school readiness. So these classes are for children geared to 3 and 4-year-olds, but we also have other options for children as young as birth or prenatal.
Wow. Now it's really important that children begin their learning early. Tell me about that. What are the statistics about early learning?
Well, as a child, when they're born, their brains are just like little sponges. Their most rapid brain development is the first 3 years of life. And it's amazing, in fact, 90% of the brain is developed by age 5. So the first 5 years are critical in the early learning to prepare them for the school setting.
Yes, and then I know we have pre-K in the school system, and there was a lady that came to one of your meetings, and she said that all of the pre-Ks are full, except in Hogansville.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And that there were 96 children on the waiting list. And so she said that she was referring some of them to take part in some of the activities that you offer. Is that correct?
That is correct. When we were going to set up our winter activities and our snow activities, and then it's getting ready for Color My World, one of the big problems I have is getting the word out and promoting and getting people to attend. I went personally to the mall the day that Santa was arriving and
Yes.
gave out 120 flyers. I put it on LaGrange Mom's Facebook page. I had the school system, they cannot give me a list of those 96 children, but they are willing to work with me, and they mail out information about my programs to these 96 families. Also, just word of mouth. The Memorial Library has been very good at promoting, and once this past 8 weeks, what's been tremendous help is just word of mouth from those parents that are attending and letting other people know.
Yes, because they have such a good time, don't they? I mean, I love that center. When I went through it, I was impressed, and it looks very fun. And I know if I was a child, I would just have a wonderful time. And the parents are there too, and see what a gift it is to the community for us to have that. And I'm sure word of mouth will get around, and your center will be full.
I think we will grow, I think, as the word gets out. And last year I did a Color My World, and then I added another program called Shape My World, which I will be doing again this spring. But hopefully I will duplicate this in the fall. We have other programs that sort of fill up the time in the summer, so hopefully we will start 2 sessions. And if the group grows, I could even have twice a week, or a 1 morning session and 1 afternoon session. So I'm prepared for the growth.
Yeah, and you want to incorporate some music and art.
Yes.
Yes.
We actually had Miss Annie Green, who is a local artist, and I had bought some of her postcards, and she has given me permission to blow them up and to have posters in decorating the downstairs area. So hopefully in April she is going to come and be a guest, and the children will get to meet her. She will meet the children and see the facility, but then we will do some maybe yarn art, because that's one of her big art forms, is just working with the yarn. And then there's another lady that I've spoke with about maybe kinder music, which is an option. So there are other possibilities for the center.
Yes. Now tell me about kinder music. What is that?
I am not real familiar with kinder music, but it's where people that are musically inclined can get trained, and from what I understand, it's just maybe a relaxation technique, certain movements that you can rub a baby like on its back or on the bottom of its feet, to just, if they're upset or crying, to kind of calm them down, or maybe if they've got a little stomach ache, a certain motion to rub and to sing to them, and to help relax them. But it's a certification. You have to go through classes and be certified to be a kinder music instructor. It's nationwide.
Yes. Now tell me about summer play.
Summer play started several years ago, and it's just what it says. It's like a little summer school, but it's a fun summer school for children, usually ages 3 and 4, but we have had 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, and it's located at Mady Smith Early Learning Center with Maxine Maddox. And it is in the month of June. This year we have set the dates from the first Monday in June, which I think is June the 3rd, through like the 27th, but there's 4 full weeks. It goes from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock. There is a cost for that. All my classes are free, but summer play, there is a $25 a week charge if possible, but we do offer some scholarships if needed. But in that, they get breakfast served, they get lunch served, and they get a snack. I am overseeing the curriculum, and last year we did the whole curriculum around books, and each child got to take a book home each week. We had like One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss, and just the whole week was full of activities geared around that. Then we did Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, so that was a fun book. We did Brown Bear, so the whole thing. We partner with the local school system who supplies certified teachers. We have 3 certified teachers from the school system that actually do the teaching. We also usually partner with CLCP that helps us with donation and for the funding. And I did have one mother tell me how much that her son learned in that 1 month compared to the whole year of school. So it's just a small group where the children can really get some one-on-one attention, and it's a condensed version of school. So but it's fun.
Yes, and that's great. And during the summer, it's really important to keep learning going, isn't it? Because and I know even for school children, it's very important that you keep some learning going, because in that downtime, they forget. And so to refresh them is very helpful.
True, true. And also, just the 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we get the parents in the habit of getting getting up and getting their child there on time.
Yes.
And also that breaking away of letting their child stay there without mom or dad or grandmother for the 3 or 4 hours, and they're usually fine, but that helps with school readiness. That helps when they have to drop them off, both the parent and the child, that first day of kindergarten or pre-K. It does help.
Yes. Now tell me about parents as teachers, and tell me what they do.
Parents as teachers is exactly what it says. It's where parents are their child's first teacher. And we have certified parent educators. You go to a training, and I have had that training.
Yes.
And then we also have a new parent educator in the Success by Six area. But some people might have heard of Troop Bell. They are entirely a parent educator program. And what parent educators do is they go into the homes of children, and they work not only with the children, but they also work with the parents. And just to let them know the importance of early learning, they provide activities. They do activities while they're there. They leave activities for the parent to do between the visits. They have a monthly group meeting, which again, sometimes there's a speaker, like around August, July, August, when it's back to school time, they may have a school bus come and actually talk about school bus safety. Let the children get on the bus, let the parents get on the bus, and maybe have a bus driver talk about some of the rules, and just getting them ready for that first day of actually getting on the bus to ease into that transition. They also provide a wonderful networking opportunity. We try to get some parents, if they don't have their GED. I know I have actually gone and picked up in Coweta County a lady's transcript, trying to get her to pursue her GED at West Georgia Technical College. Also, they get a book every month, every visit. There is a book, because I have screened and asked some of the parents how many books are in their home. It's amazing, some of these children have 0 books in their home. So we're trying to get books into the hands of children as well as parents. Also, the parents as teachers, the parent educator can do screenings, simple screenings, maybe visual or dental, and if they cue in that there's a problem, then they have the knowledge and the contacts to do some referrals and to get them. Maybe there may be a 2-year-old that can't see and that parent doesn't realize, and they have the opportunity to provide them with some support to possibly get glasses, or at least get an eye exam and dental or hearing. So.
Yes, and one thing I like about parents as teachers is that when they work with the parent, they give them age-appropriate toys or methods to work with their child. And I know sometimes with new parents, you don't really know like what your child should be doing or not be doing, but that parent educator can help identify if there are problems, if the child isn't learning according to how they need to learn, and that can be addressed early.
Right, and there's a whole curriculum for the parent educators. It's called Born Learning, and there's like exact activities geared to if a child's 3 years, 2 months, or 4 years, 1 month, so they can, and there's parent handouts, and there's like science activities, social studies activities, of course the math and the reading, and it is all, research based, and so it can, be right on target to guide those parents and parent educators.
Yes. Now, Gail, I know there may be some people that are listening and they're thinking, I'd like to get my child involved in Success by Six. Tell me how they would get in touch with you.
The best way, I am located at the United Way office, and that number is 706-884-8292, or they can email ggordonsb6@gmail.com, or they can just come by and introduce themselves, and let me know or call, and I can mail them or email them information.
Yeah, they could come to the Bank of America office and ask for Gail.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Exactly.
Now, I know that you give away a lot of books. I know that you even go to the soup kitchens and read to the children that come to the soup kitchens. Tell me, who supplies those books? How do you get the books?
There's a company called First Books, and we as a nonprofit can order and buy those books at a highly discounted rate. So we order from them. That's where some of my funding goes, to buy books. And like I said, on every home visit that the parent educator goes on, the child gets a free book. In the activities that I've done, we don't give a book every time, but we do give some books there. So it is at a discounted rate, and that I can order. Also, sometimes they have book distributions, and I have to write just a little mini grant, not a big one, but just a paragraph about what I will be doing with the books. And sometimes I get those, and sometimes I don't. So I've just put an order in for a big order, so I haven't heard if I'll receive those books or not. But they come along pretty regular, so I try to watch that and apply for those books.
Okay, let's talk about the Born Learning Trails. I know there's one over around Granger Park. Is that right?
It is. It is. It is what a Born Learning Trail is. It's located behind. There's the track, and then there's a body of water, and behind there was a sidewalk, already a walking trail. So now it has been turned into an educational walking trail for children. There are 10 stations. There's some wonderful artwork on the concrete drawn. For example, you start out and there's hopscotch.
Yes.
And there's signs posting about, maybe one sign just says to stop and listen to the birds, or listen to the sounds. What do you hear? Or maybe look up in the sky and what do you see? Look in the trees, just observation. Another one maybe there's a frog, what color is the frog? Or how many legs does the tiger have? So it's all interaction, and the signs are right there. So with springtime coming, hopefully soon, and the weather getting nicer, we would encourage people to take their younger children out and get a little exercise, plus do a little fun educational activity with their children.
Yes, and that's really helpful for the parents to have something to guide them through that adventure with their children. And I know you're interested in getting some of those trails in different places. You want to talk about that?
Well, I have lots of goals, but one goal is, and I've already found this perfect spot in Hogansville, to get one located in Hogansville and possibly West Point. Just to include more children. There is an expense. Each trail probably costs $1,000 to $1,500 to get the signs. It is all patented, and to get the artwork and the post and everything to get that up. But it, to me, would be a very good investment for these cities or for a civic group to help sponsor. So that's on my radar. I would love to get that going.
And you have a lot of partnerships in LaGrange. With LaGrange College students and the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Tell me about the partnerships that you have and what they do for Success by Six.
Well, it's a variety. Year before last, you had mentioned the soup kitchen, and we go to the soup kitchen and we read to any children that are there, and we also give them the book. And we try to have the mother or the aunt or the grandmother, whoever that child is with, to observe, and we try to model how to read a book. One that comes to mind is 10 apples on top. Maybe I'm reading to a 4-year-old, and then I stop and we will count the apples up on top of the head. Or we will talk about what color the apples are, and then we may even talk about there's other colored apples besides red, but just make it an educational learning experience and show how there's more than just calling the words in a book. So we had the Boy Scouts go in the summer and help read, because we have so many more, and the Boy Scouts would go and read to some of these children. And then last year, the Girl Scouts, there was a local group, middle school age, working for a silver award badge.
Yes.
So they did a project all summer where they went to the soup kitchens and had a little bit of educational activity. Maybe they would have a word of the day, And whatever children were there, talk about that word, maybe give them an activity to do related to that word, maybe read them a book or give them a handout to take home or suggest the parents, something they could do. And I would love to have that going this summer with the group because, we do have a lot of children there, and those are the children we need to be reaching. And we're adaptable. We can, even though a lot of them are already in school, it's like you said, the summer is an important time to not just stop learning.
Yes. And what are some of your favorite books, Gail?
Oh, I love probably all of the Eric Carle books, the ones like If You Give a Mouse a Cookie,
yes.
Those are all fun. Dr. Seuss is wonderful. We just got through in March, Read Across America Day. So I visited over at Mady Smith and TLC and Pride and Joy and read with the children. And I do know Maxine at Mady Smith is having another coming up, like a Dr. Seuss Day. So Dr. Seuss Days are wonderful for rhyming, and rhyming is just a stepping stone to helping children read.
Yes. And you have weekly readers that go into the pre-K places here. Tell me about those weekly readers and which pre-Ks they go into.
I have 3 locations that I've started the weekly readers in, and what weekly readers, and we just I think it was Jeff Lucan that kind of came up with that name because that's more our generation, and we were familiar with weekly readers. But each week I have someone from the community. I know you have been, and I appreciate you going in and reading a book or several books, depending on the attention span, to the children. I have a certain class at each of the 3 locations, which is Pride and Joy, Mady Smith, and TLC. And most of the children are 3 and 4-year-olds that are read to. And I ask the readers when they go in, not just to read, but to talk to the children each time about when they graduate from high school.
Yes.
I know Debbie Burdett, Mama Jama, talks about to 3rd graders, what year are you going to graduate? Well, this is kind of banking on her, making sure they understand that graduating from high school is real important, and dropping out is not an option. And then with the new Career Academy coming, we'd already started talking about a career. And, of course, they're familiar with firemen and policemen and doctors. And, of course, a lot of them want to be basketball players or baseball players.
Yes.
But I feel like if these children can hear this every week from different people from the community, hopefully it will sink in and make a difference. And also, long range, if I have someone from the community, like you go once a month, if you see little Johnny acting out or little Johnny just needs a little attention, then maybe you could stay for recess or stay a few extra minutes while they're having snack or lunchtime and give him that little bit of attention, or talk to him and really listen to him. Because I've been a teacher. Teachers do not have time to spend what they want to spend with each individual child. So I would love to expand that to other early learning centers. We have just added Pride and Joy in the last couple of months, and that's going really well. It is I've been and read there, and they're a wonderful group of listeners.
Yes, and I was thinking about those weekly readers and how to recruit them, and I was thinking it might be nice if Mama Jama would commission some readers in the community, and we could be certified Mama Jama readers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, going into the different centers. But, talking to the ones that I have read to are about 3 years old. And so this past time when I went in, I took a book that there was a doctor figure in it and a nurse figure in it. It was a Sesame Street book, but it still went through the process of a child going to the doctor and what was expected and those kinds of things. And so that gave me a place to say, when you grow up in the community, then you'll decide what you want to do. And you might be a doctor, or you might be a nurse, or you might be a teacher, or whatever. And then, you will need some schooling for that. Because I know with the community goals for excellence in education, the goals are to help us have a better graduation rate and those kinds of things. But in looking at that, it was discovered that we needed to start way back, even before the students got to school. And so that's where Success by Six came in. There was a need for us to have the children prepared for when they go to kindergarten, because very early you can detect which students are going to be successful and which aren't. And so we need to give everybody the chance to have a good start in school, and preparing them before they get there is wonderful. And my daughter Kristen was a kindergarten teacher, and you met her today, but I know that there is a lot expected of students when they get to kindergarten. And actually, when they leave, they know 100 and something sight words, and they're ready to start reading. So when you think about that, they definitely need to know colors and have had books read to them before they get there, or they're behind.
True. And research shows that the number of words spoken to children definitely influence their language development and eventually reading. And if a child starts behind in kindergarten, it is very hard to catch them up. So, trying to get them to be as prepared and ready as possible is very important.
Yes, and I know, when I went to school, that's been a long time ago, but they were saying, don't teach your children anything, because we have methods that we want to use when they get to first grade. And that really wasn't the thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I remember I wasn't prepared when I got to first grade, because my mama took that to heart. And so, I remember that it was hard to jump in there and get started in first grade. But through your program and other programs like yours, our children will have such a head start, and we just appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
And I thank you for coming and being a guest today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I hope that you have learned something today, and that you will get in touch with Gail, or prepare your children at home, and maybe invite Troop Bell to come in and teach you where your child should be developmentally, and also the things that you can help to prepare your child. And I would also just like to make an announcement that we're going to have an event. It's a Nancy Hart event. It's a historical event, and it's going to be Sunday, April the 13th at Bellevue from 2 to 4, and we hope that you can join us for that event. It's totally different than early learning, but I want to make that announcement because it's coming up soon. Thank you for watching You Make the Difference, because you truly do.
Got a promise from heaven. It's a year of replevin.